So Pro Football Focus put out some interesting rankings earlier on today. The two rankings that I'm referring to are the quarterback rankings and the running back rankings, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper on later on in this video, but just for reference, they ranked Lamar Jackson 8th, the 8th best quarterback in the league. And for the running back position, they ranked J.K. Dobbins 26th. And they included some players that haven't even played a down in the NFL yet. I have a huge problem with that. So before we get into all that, let me just say, man, I'm a big fan of PFF. Even though I definitely disagree with a lot of what they say, especially when it comes to my Baltimore Ravens, myself, I watch every single snap, every single game of the Baltimore Ravens, so I feel like I have some authority when I speak about my favorite team. But I am a fan of PFF. I do like watching their YouTube channel. I am a fan of the PFF podcast. They got that guy Palazzolo over there, Steve, with the big fro. It's pretty funny. It's pretty cool to watch. And then they got the Irishman, the angry Irishman, Sam Monson on the other side. They make for a pretty good dynamic duo. It's entertaining to watch. But here's my problem with PFF. Why are we listening to their opinions? But let me back up here. This is, for those that don't know what Pro Football Focus is or PFF is, they basically have their own ranking system. They have their own grading system. Sometimes you guys see grades for my videos and that type of stuff. Well, they do basically what I do sometimes, but they take it to a higher level. They grade every single player of every single team. They have, all these different guys watching these football games, and based on their grading system, they say, oh, that was a bad play, that was a good play. That's basically what they do. They grade every single play of every single player. Now, I have absolutely no problem with that because we do have to be honest. There is a problem when it comes to stats. The numbers don't always tell the entire story, but what they are trying to do is just give you their grading system and say, okay, was this linebacker in the correct spot? Did this offensive lineman have the correct blocking assignment? That type of stuff. So I'm fine with that. I have no problem with their grading system. Whether or not you agree with that grading system, that's a whole nother story, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But the fact of the matter is, these guys, they put out opinion pieces. They put out opinion podcasts. They put out phrases from these guys that work for PFF and have opinions, but then they act like, oh no, this is what PFF believes. And that's my problem with them. See, because with their ranking system, people are like, oh, did you see that PFF had J.K. Dobbins ranked 26 in the running back? No, they did not have J.K. Dobbins ranked 26. Sam Monson, who is a writer and also the host of the podcast, had J.K. Dobbins ranked 26. PFF did not have J.K. Dobbins ranked 26. Why can we not separate when it is an opinion piece versus when PFF is actually giving you real rankings based on their grading system? And this is the problem I have because there's absolutely no distinction. PFF just puts it out on Twitter and says, oh, these are the 32 best quarterbacks. And they just say, okay, whoever wrote this article, right? But that's not enough. We got to understand this is an opinion piece. Because yes, they do use their numbers, but they're not actually ranking based on their grades. And that's my biggest problem. They're giving opinions, and I have absolutely no problem with giving opinions. You guys know that's what I do. That's why I'm here. I'm just a Ravens guy with opinions, and that's pretty much how I've gained this following that I have. I don't understand how or why, but I just have. So I want people to understand what I'm saying here. I have no problem when it comes to opinion pieces. I have no problem when it comes to PFF's grading system. But there is no distinction. This is the problem that we're having. And now you get the media talking about certain things about, oh, PFF has this guy ranked above this guy. But it's like, no, they don't. PFF does not have this guy ranked over this other guy. It's the writer or the guy that's working for PFF. He has this guy ranked over the other guy. So why are we not giving the guys credit for one, for their opinion, and just giving it to PFF, and we're just saying that, oh, this guy speaks for PFF. This guy has the rankings. These are our beliefs as well, based on our grading system, but it's not. It's just an opinion. But so again, I have absolutely no problem with it, but we need to have a type of distinction. We have to say, you can't just say, these are the 32 ranked quarterbacks. No, you say, this guy, Bruce Gradkowski, ranked the quarterbacks for himself for PFF. But it's not our rankings. It's not our official rankings, right? So I just don't understand why they continue to put this. And I do kind of get it, because you got to get clicks, you got to get views. Believe me, I'm the first one. I do the same shit. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. You guys already know. I am trying to get views. That's really what it's all about. When you have social media, when you're on YouTube, you got to do all that you can. See, that's why I hate when people say this was clickbait. Now, there is real clickbait, don't get me wrong, but it's like pretty much anything is clickbait, because if you actually put out a good thumbnail, you put out a good video, which gets people to click on it, you could technically say that's clickbait, right? Because you baited them into clicking on your video. And that's the entire point of YouTube. You want to get people baited to click on your video and watch it. Now, that could be a positive manner. Maybe they're interested in what you have to say as a person. But I just feel like PFF is running this line of, okay, oh, we are to be taken seriously. We have this grading system. We have our rankings. And this is a real thing. This is something that the NFL is already in partner with. They already put up the PFF grade for every single player when you see them play on Sunday Night Football. So they want to be taken seriously as an organization, as PFF, but then they also want to put out these opinion pieces and put their name over it. Let me give you another example. Like, say I have an opinion on the Ravens that not everybody agrees with, right? If someone was to watch my video and then they're going to say, oh, this is what Ravens fans think as a whole. Whatever Jose Verduzco, aka JoeNoobo, says, that's exactly how Ravens fans feel. And no, it's not at all true. I have my own opinion. Sometimes people agree with me, and a lot of the other times people disagree with me, you know, and you're free to your own opinion. I have no problem with that. But I would just like there to be more distinction. Like, okay, this is PFF's actual rankings. This is PFF's actual gradings versus this guy, Bruce Gradkowski, or Sam Monson, has opinions on his rankings of running backs or quarterbacks, and these are his opinion. These are not PFF's actual opinion. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that topic. Let's go ahead and dive right into the rankings, and I'll just give you guys my issues with them. So first of all, we have the quarterback rankings, right? Like I said earlier, Lamar Jackson, they have him ranked at 8th. So I disagree. I believe he is a top 5 quarterback. You can say that I'm biased or whatever, but let's just go ahead and dive deep into this ranking. So number 1, they have Patrick Mahomes. Fair. Have no problem with that. Number 2, they have Tom Brady. I mean, I disagree, but I can see the argument. I can see why. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl and all that. I totally get it if you want to put Tom Brady there. Number 3, they have Aaron Rodgers. Me personally, I would probably put Aaron Rodgers above Tom Brady. But whatever, I totally understand you have Aaron Rodgers in the top 3. Got it, whatever. Russell Wilson, I'm okay with this one, but I mean, you got to be honest, man. Russell Wilson, he started really good. He started the season really good, and then it just kind of fell off a cliff, man. So do they not take that into account whatsoever? Because it definitely doesn't seem like it. And then number 5, this is where my issues start. They have Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback. I definitely think he belongs in the top 10. But you cannot tell me that you put him above Lamar Jackson. I would definitely not have Deshaun Watson above Lamar Jackson. And you guys know, man, I'm a big Josh Allen hater, non-believer, but I would definitely put Josh Allen above Deshaun Watson right now. That's just my personal opinion. And I've just realized I've probably said opinion like 50 different times in this video. So if you guys want to do like a little bit of a drinking game, go back and start this video over. Take some shots every time I say the word opinion. So then they have Josh Allen at number 6, again above Lamar Jackson. I personally would not put Josh Allen above Lamar Jackson, but I can see the argument to put Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. If you prefer his play style to Lamar Jackson's play style, I can totally understand your argument, and that's a fine debate to have. But for me, Deshaun Watson does not belong over Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. And then this was my biggest problem here. Dak Prescott is above Lamar Jackson there at number 7, just under Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson. Again, I believe Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I think that in certain levels, he can be considered top 10. But I would definitely not put him above Lamar Jackson. This is absolutely ridiculous to me. So look, for me, if I was to redo these rankings, I would probably have Lamar Jackson take Deshaun Watson's spot at number 5. Then at number 6, I would probably leave Josh Allen there. And then number 7, that's probably where you can throw Deshaun Watson. And then maybe number 8, I could see Dak Prescott. I could see the argument there. But to have Lamar underneath Dak Prescott, and Deshaun Watson. Like, what are we taking into account here? Are we just taking last year into account? Because if you just take last year into account, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Or are you taking, I don't want to say their careers, because then if you have career, you would definitely put Tom Brady over number 1 overall. But I understand that. But I just don't know what the bases are. And again, that's the problem with these opinion pieces. We don't have an actual basis of what the rankings are supposed to be. And then you have people on Twitter saying, oh, this is what PFF believes. But no, it's not what PFF believes. It's what Bruce Gradkowski believes. So anyways, let's move on to the running back rankings. And wow, this one I had such a big problem with. You really put J.K. Dobbins at 26. But it's not only the fact that you ranked J.K. Dobbins at 26. It's also the write-up that you had. And believe me, I've said it before. I like Sam Monson. I think he's really funny. I love watching the podcast, and I think they're hilarious. But listen to what my guy Sam Monson says. He says, it is tough to separate the performance of the running back from the boost he gets playing within a Baltimore Ravens offense that has quarterback Lamar Jackson distorting their opportunities. But J.K. Dobbins was extremely impressive in limited carries in his first year. 22 of his 153 carries went for at least 10 yards. So his argument is that J.K. Dobbins is only good because of the system that he's in. Now, while I can understand that argument, that the fact that we are, in fact, a run-first team, we know about Greg Roman and his running schemes, I totally get that part of the argument, but to put guys like the following names that I'm about to list to you right now, ranked above J.K. Dobbins, and the fact that you have guys that haven't even played a snap in the NFL yet, is what really got to me. First of all, at 25, and we're going to run through this real quick, they have Ronald Jones above J.K. Dobbins. I disagree. I do think Ronald Jones had a good year last year, but you're really going to put Ronald Jones there. If you want to talk about systems being easy for running backs, Tom Brady has all these damn receivers that everybody on the defense has to worry about, so that opens running lanes for Ronald Jones. Excuse me. But of course, no mention of that, right? 24, they have Javonte Williams, the Denver Broncos rookie running back. You have him ranked above J.K. Dobbins? Are you kidding me? Have you even seen him play in the NFL? What if he turns out to be the next Trent Richardson? You have no idea because you haven't seen him play. And I just find that baseless and honestly quite stupid. And even worse, let's keep going, because you also have Travis Etienne for the Jacksonville Jaguars ranked at 23, 3 spots above J.K. Dobbins. 22, you have Devin Singletary for the Buffalo Bills. That to me is ridiculous. The Bills had no running game, and Devin Singletary was supposed to be their workhorse running back, right? But he's better than J.K. Dobbins, right? Not like the Bills would take J.K. Dobbins over Devin Singletary any day of the week. 21, you have Tony Pollard. You have Tony Pollard at 21, 5 spots above J.K. Dobbins. This one has to be one of the most ridiculous ones out of this whole article. I'm sorry to say. But really, Tony Pollard, are you kidding me? A backup running back. And I understand that when he gets on the field, he's a good player. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's not a good running back. But you're ranking the 32 starting running backs going into the 2021 season, and J.K. Dobbins is expected to take more of a workload, and you're going to sit here and tell me that Tony Pollard is going to perform better than J.K. Dobbins this year. Najee Harris for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, I talk a lot of smack about the Steelers. You guys already know how it is. But to put Najee Harris above 6 spots above J.K. Dobbins, to me, is ridiculous when you haven't even seen him play a down in the NFL. And you even say it in your article. You say ranking rookies is always a tough ask without any real knowledge of how they will perform at the next level, but you still do it. Miles Sanders is 19. That's 7 spots above J.K. Dobbins. That I disagree with. I think he's good, but come on. And then you have another Jaguars running back. What is James Robinson? He had a great season last year. I'm not at all taking away from what he did last season. But you have 2 Jaguars running backs over J.K. Dobbins before you even mention him. Melvin Gordon for the Denver Broncos. Again, 2 Broncos running backs above J.K. Dobbins. Jonathan Taylor, that's fine. I think he's a really good running back, 16. Antonio Gibson, the Washington football team. I guess. Joe Mixon, that's fine. David Montgomery at 13. I think it's a little rich, but that's fine. Ezekiel Elliott. Austin Eckler at 11. Kareem Hunt at 10, okay, fair. Josh Jacobs, fair. Chris Carson, Saquon Barkley, fine with that. Aaron Jones at 6, that's fine. Alvin Kamara at 5, fine with that. Nick Chubb at 4, fine with that. McCaffrey at 3, Dalvin Cook at 2, and Derrick Henry at 1. I'm fine with like most of these rankings that I just listed in the top 10, but the fact that you had all these rookie running backs ranked over J.K. Dobbins, to me, that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then my last and final gripe that I have with PFF is the following. Patrick Queen. Have you guys seen PFF's grade of Patrick Queen? I'm sure that you have. It's 29.7. This is what they graded Patrick Queen. They gave him a 29.7 for the season. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know how the linebacker rankings work for PFF or how any of their grading system works. I'm not going to act like I know. But so what you're telling me basically is that Patrick Queen was one of the worst NFL players last season. Like in general. Like he was literally one of the worst NFL players. This is what PFF is telling you with a 29 grade. They're saying that he was one of the worst players in the NFL last season. Do we really think that? We watched his entire rookie campaign. Did you see some mistakes, some rookie mistakes? Absolutely. Was he out of position a lot? Yeah, absolutely. But we're just going to totally overlook the good that he did? We're going to overlook all the 2 fumble recoveries, the touchdown that he scored, the 3 sacks, the 9 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits, 2 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, an interception. We're just going to overlook all of that. 106 tackles. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video, numbers don't tell the entire story. I totally get that. But you're just overlooking all of these things that Patrick Queen did and saying, no, he's one of the worst players in the NFL and he is a liability. He's not a liability. He made a lot of plays for the Ravens last season. Like there's another YouTuber, Zach Schaumler from Strong Opinion Sports. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he gave his Defensive Rookie of the Year award to Patrick Queen. That's right. And this was over like a Chase Young who actually won the award. He took a lot of things into account. And that's why I love the guy because, I mean, he sometimes gives the Ravens some love. But listen, how can someone see what the Ravens fans saw and say, yeah, he does deserve to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, whereas PFF is like, oh no, he's one of the worst players in the NFL. 29 grade. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me, but you guys let me know. What do you think about PFF? Let me know in the comments down below. I laid out a lot of things here in this video. Let me know if you agree with them or if you disagree. I'm open to everything, man. You guys already know I just love getting comments from y'all and seeing what you think. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL and Ravens content and possibly more content coming out. I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on there. And feel free to follow me on my social media. Those links are down in the description box below. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Later.